close to the mana break, aka trying to play the low side, and it's not working well for them. This is where LEG came from. ISG has the high ground and all three up, and they find an angle over the top. Marino goes down, but an Incendiary takes one out. It is utter bloodbath. ISG loses just about everybody out of nowhere. The Incendiary is one thing, the shots are another, and the Incendiary cleans them up as well. Unreal job here from LEG at first, but it was ISG that's able to stand tall. A trading of blows goes to ISG. They have a solo. LEG is wiped, and LEG is the team decoding. A bloodbath is ensuing. It was not a slow Mandel Brick round. This is utter chaos, and Taylor, like you said, chaos is a good thing, at least for some of these teams. MG down to 2, ISG down to 1, AKA at 2, STS, the only team of 3 on the map, and with a reset, STS could come in and end this round.
Yes, they could. Still 3 strong. They're looking the healthiest at the moment, but taking down AKA, or at least a player from AKA on the streets, opened up the opportunity now to go up north, and they will start making an attempt to get onto the Mandel Break themselves. Plenty of time. No reason to rush this. They're wolf packing together. It's going to be very difficult now for these teams such as MG, ISG, or AKA who have 2 or less than 2. Of course, with just one player being ISG. This is a big moment for STS. A bit of a stumble in the last map, but here they can rise up to the occasion and decode 2. MG Bonnie, a couple players up ahead. He's going to try and lock down this hallway if he can, and he's going to be successful. Only Gary from MG that will take down Mojo. ISG now fully out.
ISG gone, Fennel gone, LEG gone. A huge moment. AK and MG at 2. STS at 3. STS slow playing from Water Tank could end lower round 1 right here, right now. And Chan Chan, perfect shots over the top, and he's likely gonna get the cleanup here. AKA over peak for a moment, and they are swinging for this fight. They know there's not that many bodies left on the map. And with just enough bullets to get him extremely weak, but a well-placed Incendiary is going to stave off the advance. That res is not going to come through, and it is going to have to be a hero play from AKA, and it's got to be Jan. We've seen him do crazy things in the regional qualifiers, but he's got to do crazy things on main. Down goes 60, and here we go. It's going to be a 1v2, maybe a 1v3, and Jan has no chance. They all move together, and with Tempest in hand, STS are going to try to close this thing out. However, they are just getting started. Yes, it's a 3v2, but we still have 40 seconds on the clock for the decode that MG has control of.
But it's Oni Giri with the off angle, and he makes me nervous from STS's perspective. Bonnie laying down bullets down range. We're running out of time, just 28 seconds. Bonnie, Oni Giri desperately trying to hold on to what they got. MG needs this to jump ahead of ISG to secure a top 2 position.
There they go.
To keep it alive, but like you said, here they go. E-Hit's going for it. MG can win it to 13, but STS gets it for themselves, but now they've got to win the fight. E-Hit is down. It's a 2v2.
Gonna be a 2v2, make it a 1. Chan Chan by himself, the last remaining player alive. If Chan Chan wins these fights, if Chan Chan can stay alive and wipe the rest of this lobby, which is one single player, Chan Chan will win lower round 1 for STS, and everybody else will come down to loot value. It is going to be hero plays for both of these teams, and if anybody can get a revive, they're gonna have a huge advantage. We now have plenty of time on the clock, and a free res, a crawler, STS are gonna have an advantage in a 2v1 versus MG. MG had the decode, but it's still 90 seconds after that steal.
STS bottom right, top left will be the solo from MG, which is Bonnie. Minute 15 remaining in this moment. Bonnie has to hold on to what he's got. MG's already in a great spot when it comes to the overall standings, but they want a little bit more. Stop STS here would be critical. They have an understanding of where he's at. The push is starting to unfold, and an easy touch should be here. Domding's going to get on top of it. STS should surely be able to steal it back, and they will. And the question is, what is this solo from MG up to? What is Bonnie going for?
Bonnie's going to extract.
This is it. That would block the top 2.
This is what we were talking about. With the win and the fight, Bonnie knows that the loot is going to be close. This is game, set, match.
This is
They're
top
giving
two.
it away to STS because MG knows that they are likely the only player left on the map. And if they can protect the loot they brought in, if they can get something out, they will likely make it straight to the upper bracket round 2. You gotta be top 2. This is worst case scenario for everybody else that is dead. Holy cow. The leaderboard on the left is total. It is not a complete picture of what you can expect, though, after the math comes through. Kills not tallied. Safe boxes need to be tallied. But utter chaos turns into lower round 1 being done early. Out goes MG with 1 player extracted and 2 killed. STS clutch up by playing slow. The chaos, you called it perfectly. The chaos was best case scenario for STS. They played it slow, they let everybody else fight, and they come up and they play cleanup and they get the brick as well. Brick decoded, STS, the winners of lower round 1. They do it in a clean sweep, Taylor. It's all gonna come down to loot for everybody else.
Well, I must say, we were not expecting this to end in 4, but it does. STS get 2 Mandel bricks, and MG makes a big brain play going for the extraction to stay ahead of ISG, potentially, unofficially dropping ISG down to 3rd, just below them being maybe potentially, I don't know, MG, so STS, maybe MG, then ISG. So great plays overall, man. The way STS played this is critical, and it gives them so much confidence, or at least it should, going into the next round.
Unreal. A great call from MG, certainly. I mean, look how close those numbers are. It's going to be less than 3-0 spread. But STS are the winners of lower round 1. I'm sure that's got to feel good. Unbelievable job. The slow play, the chaos, STS. They win lower round 1. They're assuredly not only staying in this competition, but have essentially 2 chances to make it to the finals going forward. STS, they go to upper bracket round 2 with the vengeance. This is a totally different team than what we saw in the group stages. STS dominate lower round 1.
Now the question is, though, even though STS dominates, did AK do enough? Look at 60 MG. He's clapping. I think AK did enough maybe to secure a top 4.
It's unbelievably close. And look at MG as well. MG, STS, they're all excited. STS shaking hands, patting each other on the back because they know that they changed their fate in this tournament. Giving them 2 chances to make finals is so important. And the rest of the map is difficult, sure. And it will be a deciding factor for who goes home. I'm talking sitting in the stands at the stadium after just lower round 1. 2 teams will be done. 2 teams will go to upper bracket and have 2 chances to make finals. And then the 2 teams in the middle will have to sit here, watch upper bracket, and have 1 single chance to make it to the finals in lower round 2. It's a little bit later. Unreal job, STS. No. But the math right now.
Yes, I know the math hasn't been done, but I think LEG, I think they're going to be bottom 2. I really do. They played so very well. Legit Brazil came in with so much energy, slayed out, a much better performance than anyone was expecting. And they proved to the world the LATAM region needs to be respected, but I don't think they did enough. Of course, that is unofficial. We'll see the standings in just a bit. But unofficially, I do believe it's going to be Fennel, and I think it's LEG in the bottom 2 who are going to be eliminated. AKA might have just barely skated by, but we still have to add it up. But what we do know for sure, STS is on top. The double Mandel brick decoded. They did incredibly well from yesterday's performance to today. I mean, Goj, I'm getting goosebumps. Like STS is truly the most improved team from day 1 to day 2.
Hey, well, I'll eat a shoe because like I said before, I thought we were going to go to 6 every single time. And we go to 4 again. A full round completed in 4. You know, from the amount of events we've done, it doesn't seem that often. That is truly a clean sweep. every time there's a Mandel break, you're getting it, and you're able to get it both back to back, and then you're done, and you win. That's it. It doesn't happen that often, but it's happened several times in this competition. That one, utter chaos, and STS playing it slow, it worked out for them, which frankly wasn't what we were expecting. We thought STS maybe would play pretty aggressive because they kind of have nothing to lose. You've already got a Mandel break, you know you're not going home.
And they had the lead of the assets too.
Yeah, and so they could have kind of gone for broke there, but instead, because of the spawn, sure, they got the water tank spawn, but other than that, it was just slow play, get information, and wait. Everybody else was battling for the brick, because if you get it, you know you're not going home. They walk in, clean up, and then MG, again, I don't know how much it would have mattered. It would have been really close, and I don't think it's all that close now, because MG decided, you know what, we're just trying to get top two, and I am the only other person on this map, so why don't I get out, protect some loot value,
smartest play,
and make sure I stay on top.
Super smart.
Two. Super important and really cool stuff. These are strategies we will not see on the finals day. Finals day is going to be an all-out bloodbath. Finals day, we're seeing a lot of them over the course of the group stages, and now lower round one.
Such a good start to the day. It's only day two. See the match results. So this is going to be the match results overall. It will be STS with 11.93, but more importantly, the Mandel brick decoded. And MG does jump up to second place. ISG, AKA, will be number 3 and 4. AKA, the smile was real from 60 MG. They did just enough, but it is, unfortunately, for 5th and 6th place. The team's eliminated. It will be Fiddle. It will be LEG. But boys, well fought. To make it through the qualifiers, to make it to this stage here in Hangzhou, China, is tremendous.
Yeah, unfortunately, the end of the road for our LATAM team and our Japan team. That is brutal for Fennel and legit Brazil to go out like that. Another crazy stat is that those two teams were also the teams that barely missed out of going to the upper bracket. They were the 2 top-seeded teams going into lower round 1, and unfortunately, their road in the Delta Force Invitational has come to a close. Oh, it's so heartbreaking for those regions. They have so many fans at home. There's so many people cheering them on, and unfortunately, they are done and will have to sit in the audience on finals day. They have been eliminated. Our 2 teams, the 2 first teams to be eliminated in the Delta Force Invitational. We started at 12. We have 2 teams already in the finals, and now 2 teams fully eliminated, and the rest move on in different manners. Top 2, of course, MG. I'm really proud of those guys. A really smart IQ play. Scores were pretty close, but it's all STS all day.
All STS all day. Now, we do want to say, as we look through the highlights, it was pretty chaotic at the very beginning. There was a chance where we were going to watch the Mandel break go to a different location, top left, or top right, excuse me, which would be great because AK could have challenged for it, but they had other plans. For the first time in the 30+ million matches you casted, you saw it get torched.
Yeah, the torch timer doesn't often go out, but this is that moment. They run up, they can't plan it, and then it's FL that end up taking the break. And unfortunately, I have to say it, fortune did not favor the Bold this time around. FL, a team that's fully eliminated. FL, the team that actually planted the Mandel break, and it's because of MG. MG played spoiler, played disruptor so many times, and because of that, they come in, they not only wipe FL, they're also the ones to steal the brick alongside LEG. Again, fortune not favoring the Bold. LEG, the team to steal. They come up the ramp amidst the chaos, and they take control of the Mandel brick. It looked like they had a decent position. ISG and LEG then trade blows. This is the utter chaos I was watching. Bullets trade blows, yes, the Incendiary takes down 2, and they go, how? What just happened? And then MG comes in and plays cleanup. So they wipe the rest of ISG, or at least 2/3 of that team, as Bonnie goes in for the steal. MG now is in control. And so now we look towards AKA, who has 2 members remaining, and unfortunately, they get caught in the crosshairs of a straight shooter, man. STS is in, steals the brick. MG's doing everything they can to stop it, but with that steal, which was at 13 seconds, STS sure lose 1 member, 2 go down, only 1 member fold into a yellow timer. MG re-steal. STS, though, able to get the revive, change the fight, and so MG backed off and said, fine, everybody else is dead, sounds good for me, I want second place.
And it was a collective team effort to call Bonnie back and say, look, enough is enough, no reason to fight for this Mandel break, let's secure what we got, the loot is enough to put us in top 2, and it absolutely was. What a beautiful play call, what a job well done from STS and MG. But also, you got to give credit where credit is due to ISG and AKA for staying alive in the tournament, but again, Boys, well done from Fennel and LEG. I know you guys were eliminated, but I want to highlight you did exactly what you needed to do in order to get to this very stage. What an accomplishment to compete in the first ever Delta Force Invitational.
And here's a look, by the way, at the overall stats from just that last round. Obviously, STS, they get 3 kills, they get the mana break. That's game, set, match. But it's MG there. Obviously, protecting loot. They had almost 1 million in loot, sure. But it was actually the amount of kills they got in that round was the difference maker between third and second. 5 kills, you got to remember, is 2 mil. MG playing aggressive. This is a totally different MG team than what we saw in the group stages. This is a team to be reckoned with. And with MG joining the upper bracket, I've got to say, I've got some momentum with MG. I think MG could be a top 2 team in our upper bracket round 2 here shortly. Here's a look at the damage charts, and it was MG on top. They are looking very, very strong.
Very strong indeed. MG, so impressive. Envy, Bonnie, Onigiri, who started the day strong and finished strong with his roster. But the best team, of course, would be STS in the end. God dang. The guy who just plays so well as a solo, Chan E-hit, usually going off and extracting, they say, God dang, go for it. You got it, baby. And he ends up picking up at least, what, an additional 400K usually every time he's a solo, which is truly beneficial. But the collective team effort from STS ends up, of course, resulting in the 2 Mandel bricks being decoded. On Harry, though, will, in fact, be your overall match MVP, and rightly so from MG. He was a large reason for the success. 1,000 damage, mind you. This guy is pulling off massive numbers and therefore giving MG an opportunity to place top 2.
Yeah, anybody that doesn't know ball knows, you're like, oh, I do 1,000 damage all the time in Fuzz. Yo, this is the sweatiest custom of all time. Gary's putting up 1,000 damage in custom.
Right.
You know, some people don't even put up 1,000 damage in the entire
that's you.
entire matchup all across the board. This dude is crushing it, man. Onigiri, a force to be reckoned with. Insane stuff from the man, the myth, the legend. Mugrab really struggled in group stages, but they came out with a bang and lower round 1. They came here with something to prove, and they have joined the ranks of STS over into upper bracket round 2. Really pumped for these guys, really pumped for all of our teams that are still alive. And of course, folks that are done in this tournament, we thank you for being here. Very well played. You put on a fantastic performance. It was so fun to watch, but unfortunately just came up a little short when you needed it most.
Yeah, unfortunate for them. But hey, even though those 2 were eliminated, it doesn't mean they're going to be the last 2 eliminated. We're still eliminating, what, 4 total teams?
Got to get
up,
6.
right? We've got to get the 6. So we know the 2 who's already there, who's going to be playing in that packed stadium, of course, Q9 and NBA. But now things start to get really serious. Who wants to punch their ticket to the finals after the next 6 games? We move into our lower bracket stage 3, I believe it is, and it's going to be Fall and ESG, Inc., Gold, Silver, STS, and MG to fight for those 2 coveted spots to try and stay alive and not get eliminated.
Yeah, I like the breakdown. There's a lot we can talk about, of course, but of course we've also got to talk to some of our players. And first, let's hear what they had to talk about in that last round. I'm sure they were excited.
싸울 수도 있네.
맞아. 이거 오른쪽 라인 계속 사운드다.
방금 낙하 사운드.
있다. AKA 잡아도 돼? 잡아도 돼?
하나 다운. 나 딸피야.
AKA 잡자. 이거 밀어야 될 것 같은데? 철개로 빠졌어. 철개로.
밀어. 해봐. 자, 나 따라와.
반대로 1분. 이거 빨리 밀고 찍어야 되는데.
다운이야.
찍으면 안 돼. 왼쪽 나왔다. 왼쪽 입구.
뺐어.
뺏은 건 좋은데 걔 아무것도 안 돼. 뒤에 하나 남았다.
형 눕지 말지. 안 뺏어졌네?
다시 뺏은
뺏은
거야. 다시 뺏은 거야. 1대 2거든. 정면 한번 가볼래? 화살 날려줄게.
날려봐.
가자. 전기 화살 말한 거야?
아니면 나 살려도 되긴 해.
정면 봐줄게.
반대 뺏어.
바로 빼봐.
터치 되나 이거?
바로 빼봐. 터치. 애매한데?
애매.
궁 한번 찍고.
나 공 없어. 나 공 없어.
연막 있어?
연막 없어. 연막 4초.
야 해. 둘이.
야 얘네 빼겠다. 야 얘네 살릴 수 있어.
살릴 수 있어.
오케이.
시원하게 했다잉.
이거야.
이거 내가 원하던 거야.
이게 우리야.
이게 나야.
어려운 거 없는데?
1등 했다잉.
시원하게 갔다 그냥.
시원해 그냥.
사냥꾼이 뭔지 보여줬어.
just a matter of taking care of business.
That's right.
Taylor. Nothing crazy from the excitement category. It felt like, hey, we know what we're doing. We knew that we won this. No big deal. Let's move on our merry way because we still have a lot of work to do, and that is absolutely correct. Just winning that, of course, does give you 2 chances to make finals, but it doesn't assure your spot in the finals. That was lower round 1. Those are the teams that got 4th, 5th, and 6th from each of the groups.
Yes.
Those are the teams that lost yesterday. They're like, all right, this is what we wanted to happen yesterday. Let's now execute on it. Potentially 2 more times. They could play up to 3 best of 6s today if they don't succeed in the next round.
Yeah, you go back to our interview yesterday with NBA Skydie. I asked him, I said, how are you feeling after that big win? And you could tell that his mentality was like, it was a win, yes, but it wasn't the win that we needed, okay? Yeah, sure. We needed to secure a top 2. And I can feel that in the comms with SKS towards the tail end of that. They didn't really necessarily celebrate and get ecstatic. Granted, it is a sigh of relief, right?
Yeah, that's exactly
moving
what it
forward. That's what it is. But it's not necessarily a celebration in the sense of we've won, we did it, because they haven't just yet.
That's right.
They moved forward, but they're not gonna. It's not gonna be acceptable in their minds as competitors to get to this very stage and then to end here in the studio. No, they want to go to the stadium, but in order to get to the stadium, you've got to once again replicate what you just did with the 2 Mandel bricks. And I believe STS can do it again. The most improved team by far from yesterday into today's competition. But let's face it, now they are joined by the top 4 teams from yesterday's results from our matches, right? We're talking Fallen, ESG, Inking, Gold, Silver. All 4 of those rosters play incredibly well, taking the fight to Q9, taking the fight to NBA, and at times potentially being in the running for also securing a top 2 finish in yesterday's competition. So now the competition only gets harder in the next stage.
Yeah, let me be very clear about something. ESG and Fallen were technically seeded 1 and 2 going into this competition based on, well, I guess technically not Fallen. Everybody thought Fallen was seeded number 2, technically below Mandelbrick Addiction, which they proved to their seed of 2, getting 1st overall. But either way you look at it, everybody sees NBA, yes, strong, but ESG as the strongest team here, and they're going to be in this upper bracket round 2. And so you're playing against the hottest competition out there, a team that's frankly going to go in probably angry and aggressive.
Yeah.
It's going to be very difficult. We'll see what they're able to do with it. Here's a look, by the way, at what we're talking about. ESG, Gold, Silver, Inc., FN, they're waiting for their competition that is coming next. STS and MG now joining them after success. And you're right, a huge turnaround. STS last in their group stages, MG second to last in their group stages, but they made it to the upper bracket round 2, which will be in just a little while, Taylor. I'm really excited about this, and I want to remind the people at home how this round will work, because this is not an elimination round. That is something to remember. If you are trying to make it to the finals, you can advance. If you get top 2 in upper bracket round 2, you will make it to the finals. But if you get bottom 4, you're not eliminated. You just go to lower bracket round 2.
Yeah, but even still, you don't want that long of a day as a competitor, man. I mean, we're talking potentially 11 hours, albeit we do end a lot quicker than we were expecting into lower bracket turn 1, but you don't want to be one of those teams that has to play 6 or 4 games, 6 games. But if you have to do that and you make it to the final stage, then, I mean, of course, it was all worth it. Man, you look at STS and MG, I think they're going into this next turn with a tremendous advantage. They're nice and warm. They're feeling good. It benefited NBA tremendously, right? NBA was hot off of their big win from their respective match. They go in well warm because there's only like a 20, 30-minute time difference between when you were just playing to when you're playing once again. So for me, I think STS and MG are going to be going in hot. But I do want to bring it back because you mentioned ESG, the number 1 seed coming out of China. Let's not forget, even though they are competing today, they were just a hair behind that of Q9 as well as NBA. They had 25 million Technic Alloy. They were in 3rd place in the overall standings, just shy of top 2. The only thing that stopped them from going into the finals directly was not having a Mandelbrick.
Yeah, they were the top team going into this competition, and they're the top team going into this next round. On paper, they're the best squad, so watch out for that team, absolutely. But any of the teams that came from upper bracket round 1 could be a team that won. Fallen won their group stages. Fallen is one of the best teams here. Everybody's been scouting them, been watching them, and they just struggled in upper bracket. They crushed it in the group stages. They are forced to be reckoned with, but I am really excited to see STS and MG as well step up and say, hey, I don't care what happened in groups. We know our game now. We've got momentum. let's execute on it, and hopefully they don't have to play 3 best of 6s. We'll see how it all goes down.
Well, you have 3 teams from Match A, you have 3 teams from Match B. There's some history, but there's also some new matches, some new blood, and we're about to see go against each other.